Imagine flying above the frozen mountains of Tibet. The Himalayas stretch endlessly across the horizon. Snow covers the peaks in brilliant white. Deep valleys cut through the rugged landscape. At first, everything looks like ordinary mountains, but suddenly one peak stands out. It rises sharply above the surrounding terrain. Its shape looks strangely familiar. The mountain appears almost perfectly symmetrical. From certain angles, it resembles a giant pyramid. This mysterious peak is called Mount Kailash. It stands in the remote Tibetan plateau. For thousands of years, it has fascinated travelers, explorers, and pilgrims. Unlike most mountains in the Himalayas, this one is never climbed. The summit remains untouched by human explorers. Mount Kailash rises about 6,638 meters above sea level. That is more than 4 miles high. Yet, it is not the tallest mountain in the region. What makes it extraordinary is its shape. 4 sharp ridges divide the mountain into almost equal sides. Each face appears smooth and geometric. Horizontal rock layers form lines across the slopes. These lines look almost like the steps of a pyramid. From a distance, the mountain looks almost artificial. Some people believe the mountain is too perfect to be natural. Photographs of the peak often spread across the internet. Many viewers ask the same question. Could this mountain be something more than a natural formation? Scientists, however, believe the answer lies in geology. Mount Kailash formed millions of years ago. The Himalayan mountains were created by tectonic forces. The Indian continental plate slowly pushed into Asia. This collision lifted enormous sections of land upward. Over millions of years, glaciers and wind shaped the mountains. Ice slowly carved the slopes. Wind eroded softer layers of rock. Eventually, the mountain developed its striking geometric shape. Layered sedimentary rock can fracture along straight lines. When glaciers carve through these layers, sharp ridges appear. The result can sometimes resemble pyramids or other geometric shapes. Nature often creates patterns that look surprisingly artificial. But Mount Kailash is mysterious for another reason. The mountain lies near the sources of 4 major rivers. These rivers flow in different directions across Asia. The Indus River flows toward Pakistan. The Sutlej River travels through northern India. The Brahmaputra River winds across Tibet and India. The Karnali River feeds into the Ganges basin. Because of this, many ancient cultures believed the mountain was the center of the world. For them, it represented a sacred cosmic axis. In Hindu tradition, Mount Kailash is the home of the god Shiva. In Buddhism, it is believed to be the dwelling place of a powerful deity. Jain followers believe their first spiritual teacher reached enlightenment here. The Bon religion also considers the mountain sacred. Pilgrims from many cultures travel to this remote place. They come not to climb the mountain, but to walk around it. This journey is known as the Kailash Kora. The route circles the entire mountain. It stretches about 52 kilometers. For some pilgrims, the walk takes a full day. Others take several days to complete the journey. Some devotees perform full-body prostrations along the entire route. They lie flat on the ground, stand up, and repeat the process step by step. The pilgrimage can take weeks using this method, yet thousands of people continue the tradition every year. The journey is physically exhausting. The altitude is extremely high. Weather conditions change quickly in the mountains. But for pilgrims, the spiritual meaning is more important than the difficulty. Legends about Mount Kailash have circulated for centuries. Some stories claim the mountain contains hidden knowledge. Others suggest it is surrounded by mysterious energies. Some travelers report strange feelings near the mountain. They describe a powerful sense of silence and isolation. The landscape feels ancient and untouched. Clouds often gather around the summit. Winds sweep across the ridges. The mountain sometimes appears and disappears behind drifting mist. These natural conditions make the peak look even more mysterious. In the 20th century, several expeditions proposed climbing Mount Kailash. However, these plans were quickly rejected. Local religious leaders strongly opposed the idea. For them, the summit is sacred ground. Climbing it would be a serious act of disrespect. Eventually, authorities banned climbing the mountain entirely. Today, Mount Kailash remains one of the few major peaks on Earth that has never been climbed. Satellite images show the mountain's extraordinary symmetry. Its ridges align almost perfectly with the four compass directions. Some observers believe this alignment is too precise to be natural. They speculate about ancient civilizations or unknown forces, but scientists continue to support geological explanations. Natural erosion and rock layers can create surprisingly symmetrical mountains. Mount Kailash may simply be an extraordinary example of nature's geometry. Still, the mystery remains fascinating. Standing near the mountain, the scale is overwhelming. The peak rises dramatically above the surrounding landscape. Its four faces reflect sunlight differently throughout the day. Shadows slowly move across the ridges as the sun travels across the sky. At sunrise, the mountain glows with golden light. At sunset, it becomes deep red against the darkening sky. For travelers who reach this remote place, the experience is unforgettable. Mount Kailash remains a place where science, history, and spirituality meet. A mountain shaped like a giant pyramid, standing silently in the remote Tibetan plateau, untouched by climbers, surrounded by legends, and continuing to inspire wonder across the world. Yet the mystery surrounding Mount Kailash does not end with its shape. Many travelers who visit the region describe an unusual atmosphere around the mountain. The surrounding landscape feels quiet and almost untouched by time. The air at this altitude is thin and cold. Strong winds often sweep across the plateau. Clouds gather around the summit and then slowly disappear. Sometimes the peak is completely hidden behind mist. At other times, it appears suddenly against the bright blue sky. This constant change makes the mountain seem almost alive. For centuries, people have tried to explain its strange presence. Some legends claim the mountain is the center of the universe. Others believe it is a gateway between the physical world and the spiritual world. These beliefs developed long before modern science existed. Ancient travelers could only interpret what they saw through mythology. But even today, the mountain continues to inspire stories and speculation. Satellite photographs show how isolated Mount Kailash really is. The surrounding terrain is rugged and difficult to access. Roads in the region are limited and travel can be challenging. Many pilgrims walk long distances just to reach the mountain. For them, the journey itself is part of the spiritual experience. Walking across the Tibetan plateau can take many days. The altitude often makes breathing difficult. Weather conditions can change suddenly without warning. Despite these challenges, thousands of pilgrims continue visiting each year. They believe the mountain holds deep spiritual power. During the pilgrimage route, colorful prayer flags can be seen everywhere. These flags carry written prayers that are believed to spread with the wind. Small monasteries and temples appear along the path. Monks and travelers often stop here to rest and meditate. The atmosphere is calm and peaceful. For many visitors, the journey becomes a moment of reflection. Some people say the mountain has a powerful energy. Others simply admire its dramatic beauty. Scientists approach the mountain from a different perspective. For them, Mount Kailash is an extraordinary geological formation. The symmetrical structure likely formed through millions of years of erosion. Ice, wind, and shifting rock layers slowly sculpted its distinctive shape. Over time, these natural processes created the pyramid-like appearance. Mountains across the world sometimes form similar patterns. However, few are as visually striking as Mount Kailash. The combination of symmetry, isolation, and cultural significance makes it unique. Even from satellite images, the mountain stands out clearly. Its four ridges form a nearly perfect cross shape. Each face points roughly toward one of the four cardinal directions. This alignment adds to the mountain's mysterious reputation. But geologists say this alignment can occur naturally. Rock layers often fracture along predictable lines. When erosion follows those lines, symmetrical shapes can emerge. Nature can sometimes produce patterns that appear almost artificial. Mount Kailash may be one of the best examples of this phenomenon. Still, the mountain continues to capture human imagination. Photographers travel from around the world to capture its image. Pilgrims travel thousands of kilometers to walk its sacred path. Scientists study its geology to understand how such shapes form. Yet despite all this attention, the mountain remains largely untouched. No climbers have reached its summit. No modern structures have been built on its slopes. The mountain stands exactly as it has for centuries, a silent pyramid of rock and ice, rising above the vast Tibetan plateau, watching storms pass across the sky, watching travelers come and go, and continuing to remind us how mysterious our planet can be.